If you really were the body, then every time the body was satisfied, you would be satisfied. For example, say you're sitting in a nice air-conditioned room after a great meal, having met all of your physical needs and you're in relative luxury. Now, if truly you were the body, you should be perfectly content and lastingly fulfilled in such a situation. But often we find that we can be just as miserable and just as uncomfortable even in luxurious settings. The world is full of unhappy billionaires crying in the back of limousines. Now, that proves that the satisfaction of the body is not necessarily the satisfaction of you. My guru's guru once said that the only difference between a rich man and a poor man is that the poor man suffers uncomfortably while the rich man suffers comfortably. The point that he was trying to make, of course, is that we each of us have a deep need for fulfillment that cannot be met through just meeting basic physical needs, just by finding wealth, just by having more pleasure, etc., etc. Religion or spirituality is the genuine attempt at finding out what indeed is truly fulfilling about life. And naturally that involves asking questions such as, what am I beyond the body and beyond the mind? Because the satisfaction of the body and the satisfaction of the mind, while they are indeed good things, are clearly not enough for lasting fulfillment. So a spiritual person has to ask the question, what then is there in this world that can provide that lasting satisfaction? The quest for such a thing is what we call genuine spiritual life.
We still walk around our lives like we're inside our heads. We're not. Your body, seriously, do this right now with me. Recognize that your body and your mind is within your awareness, right? Look at your hand, look at your arm, look at your feet, your legs, look at your chest. It's literally all within your awareness. Now you can't see your head, but if you tap the back of your head, you feel your head, you go, oh my gosh, this is all within awareness. Where the hell is awareness, right? Where is it? It's nowhere. And you'll never find it because it's infinite and it's you.
Spoiler alert, man. This whole shit is about you. The whole fucking thing. All of the symbols, and most especially and specifically all religion, is just symbolism of you. Allah. Arm, leg, arm, head. The body. You. The cross. If you stand up and extend both of your arms, doesn't it make a cross? It's about you. God. G-O-D. Generator, operator, destroyer. It's about you. You think 666 is symbolism of the devil, but it's symbolism of you. A carbon being. 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. This shit is about you. And the whole trick is to get you to believe that your purpose in life is to go work for a corporation for 65 years, retire for about 10, and then die. But in real life, all of this is just reacting to you. All of this is just you. The trick is to think that God comes from anywhere else but you. The story of all of the Christ figures, whether it be Jesus, Krishna, Muhammad, Abraham, Moses, the story of all of the Christ figures is Christ consciousness. Pure love, completely separated from the video game, be in the world but not of the world. That's the reason the Bible speaks of greater things that ye shall do than I. I believe Jesus said that in the Bible somewhere. It's because you're fucking Jesus. You are Allah. You are Krishna. This shit is about you. Jesus lived to be 33 years old, and there just so happens to be 33 vertebrae in your fucking back. This whole fucking thing is about you. You're the star of the fucking movie. You dictate your reality. You are the most powerful fucking thing in this universe. And the trick is to have you to believe that you are just merely that shit suit that you're wearing. That fucking shit sack. Because if you ever find out what's inside of you, you will understand why the Bible speaks of God as a jealous God. God said that himself, for I am a jealous God, put no other God before me. What is God jealous of?
What you want from others is what you want from yourself. If you want people to like you, what you want is to like yourself. If you can't trust anyone, if you want to surround yourself with trustworthy people, what you really want is to trust yourself. Do you trust yourself? Do you love yourself? Because if you put those things in the hands of external sources, in the hands of people, you're setting up a zero-sum game where half of the time you win and half of the time you lose. It's a treadmill. It's a bottomless pit. And your capacity for love and trust in here is infinite.
So why should it surprise you that the same thing keeps happening to show you that you're constantly basing how you feel on what happens physically, instead of simply deciding how you're going to feel regardless of what happens? Because deciding that you will feel joy no matter what happens is the mark that you've actually changed.
Right.
Not whether it happens on the outside or not. Because if you still react to the outside with disappointment and frustration, then all you're actually doing is reinforcing the fact that you actually haven't changed. Therefore, why should the outside?
People, I got a PSA for y'all. When you give it no attention, it will have no power over you. But if you give it too much attention, it's going to consume you. As a matter of fact, eat you up emotionally. So my advice, if you don't want it to have power over you, don't give it no attention. Y'all stay blessed and be safe out there.
People who really get far in life, who really achieve something, it's not that they're so goal-driven. They don't think, I want to become a master, I want to write this great book. They're actually people who enjoy the process of their work. Like, I enjoy putting the book together, researching it, building it. If all I thought about was the end and getting money and attention and being on Barry Kubrick, it wouldn't work. You have to actually literally enjoy the details that are involved in your work. And how do you do that? Well, you choose a career that at least excites you in some way, where you can handle the setbacks, the tedium, the practice, the boring hours. It's inevitable. If you want to be a great violinist, you're not going to be born that way. You have to put in the 10,000, the 20,000 hours. And the more you do it, the more pleasurable it becomes. The more pleasurable it becomes, the harder you practice.
I need you to listen to me very closely, because I'm about to tell you one of the most important, most profound things that I have learned in my life, and it is something that I continually forget. So I'm filming this TikTok to both help you and help me remember what I've learned. The thing that I've learned is very simple, and it's this. Stuff in your life will start to change dramatically when you start interacting with the world around you. If you're one of those people that spends a lot of time thinking and making plans and trying to rationalize things in your head and figure out what's wrong with me? Is it my diet? Is it my sleep? If you're constantly trying to put pieces together to make your life better, and sometimes it feels like huge periods of time go by where nothing changes, it's probably because you are not interacting with your external world. Look, it's inertia. Okay, if you want to change your physical reality, the world that you live in, I'm not talking about what's in here, I'm talking about everything else. If you want to change that, you have to put energy into that system. Nothing is going to move unless you put effort into moving it. And here's the cool part. It doesn't have to be perfect effort. It just needs to be energy. When I was running my coaching business, some of my biggest sales, my best clients, came from just talking to random people and telling them what I did. And it turned out that they were someone who needed that, or someone they knew really needed what I offered. Some of the best jobs that I've ever had came from just talking to people I encountered face to face. The worst jobs I ever had were the ones that I found on Google. My most productive days are the ones where I wake up and immediately start doing things on my to-do list. And my worst days are the ones where I wake up and I immediately start thinking. None of this has to be perfect. All you have to do is wake up, look at your life, look at the world around you, and figure out, what can I move today? Who can I reach out to that I haven't talked to in 5 years and start a conversation, start talking about work and business? What task can I just cross off of my to-do list? What can you go out and change right now in your immediate world that will produce some sort of effect? because that effect will cause a chain reaction. And the more people you touch, the more things you do, the more services you provide to the world, the more good deeds that you commit yourself to completing, the more you will discover about what is hiding all around you. Your life can change. Your life can get better. You can learn new things. You can become a different person, but you have to put energy into the system for that to happen. So go do something, okay?
Why would you think about the past if you can't change it? It happened. Stay in the present. Why would you think about the future and it ain't gonna happen exactly how you want it? Stay in the present. The more you stay in the present moment, you get this deep sense of higher self that knows everything. It's who you really are. It knows everything that you chasing. It knows all the secrets. It's a higher intelligence. It's you. You can call it God. You can call it higher consciousness, higher self, motherfucking Christ conscious, whatever you want. It's in you right now. It's locked away because you never focus on yourself. You don't see nothing that's in front of you, my nigga. Right now, sit here and ask yourself, I wonder what my next thought going to be. When you do that, you putting your ego on the spot. Now your ego is, oh my God, he's paying attention to me. You are not your ego. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts create your whole world. You think you need 1 million followers. You think you need 2 million, 3 million. You think you need to be a bad bitch. You think you need your higher self that's with you at all times already is what you think you need. The more you focus on yourself, it starts to become uncomfortable. This is all ego. It's not you. You're watching it. You are the watcher. You get what I'm saying? You are the one watching how you feel. You are always present no matter what. When you go to nature, turn your fucking mind off. Just be present in nature. Focus on what's in front of you. Don't be thinking about social media. Don't be thinking about drama that's on social media. When you brushing your teeth, pay attention to your tooth. Pay attention to your teeth. When you brushing your teeth, normally your mind is somewhere else. Start being in the present moment.
Number one is listening skills. If you don't listen, you'll never learn. And you won't go through the changes if you don't listen. Listen to your heart and what's feeling. What you feeling inside, you got to listen to that. Like if you don't take notice, it's going to make you sick. So when you're showing people something, or you're telling a story, a Dreamtime story, or a new dreaming story, or about a plant, how this plant goes, and how it grows, why it grows, then you're listening. I always get people to sleep with a leaf or near a tree and listen to the tree, listen to the heartbeat of a tree, go into a deep meditation to listen to it, or listen to the water running. And then you'll connect more within your spirit. The spirit of the water, the spirit of the wind. So everything's connected, but by listening.
You know the word Ashe has several meanings. Ashe means power. Ashe also means authority or magical force. So some of the big Ashe, we say, are the powerful, authoritative, or great in magic. Magic is what? Simply the psychic manipulation of natural forces. That's all it is. Chemistry is the physical manipulation of natural forces. It's no accident, chemistry and alchemy have the same root. And the word for Egypt was Chem, who were the masters of chemistry and alchemy.
Do you know about the unlimited powers inside us that are waiting to be realized? Yogacharya says divine power is the power behind our power, It's the power that brought the universe into being. It's the power which keeps the planets in orbit. And it's the power that governs the cycles of birth, growth, and transformation in all things. We can choose to declare our oneness with that power. Yogacharya says that so long as we work to please God, all cosmic forces will assist us. When God is working with us, all of our abilities increase in power. Divine will can change the course of destiny, wake the dead, cast mountains into the sea, and create new solar systems. Because we can't see across all space and time, we can't truly know what's best for us right now. So our self-will tends to be guided by limited understanding, whereas divine will is that which is best for us from a place of total truth and love. Divine will is what we'd probably want for ourselves if we had a greater understanding. So instead of praying, I want this and I want that, we can have faith God knows best, and we can decide to ask God to use us for divine will, no matter what it is, and no matter where it takes us. We can ask for clarity and guidance on what to do next, and we can ask for the strength and courage to carry it out. Yogananda says, you'll see that you get much better things when God chooses for you. So instead of making life choices based on what we want to happen, we can take a step back and ask ourselves, what is trying to happen? And if we keep moving forward and there's a stubborn obstacle in our way, we can throw it back to God and say, I'm doing what I can, but if you want things to happen different, you're going to have to do something here. And let's be patient with ourselves. Allegiance to divine will can be a challenging commitment, even for those on the spiritual path. Yogacharya says we should keep aligning ourselves with divine will until it becomes a normal way of life, just like parting our hair to the other side of the head. We should be grateful for whatever the Creator gives us in life, knowing that it comes from a place of love. Let's not judge the moment, because the struggles in life are necessary for us to gain the developmental strength we need to self-realize. And let's try not to complain about anything, because when we do, we belong to the world instead. And we can learn to keep a healthy detachment to this world. It can be so overrated. As Yogananda says, this is the insane asylum of the universe. This reality is not the ultimate reality. This is not the place for us to lay down our dreams of perfection, because everything here falls apart, turns to dust, or goes away like a passing dream. But while we're here, we can access greater courage and determination by reminding ourselves of a greater reality than this one, just as Jesus did when he said, "My kingdom is not of this world." Yogacharya says that we can become fearless if we keep our consciousness on God. No matter what is happening in life, no matter how bad it is, we can ask ourselves, is there a creator? Is the creator loving? Is the creator intelligent? Then won't the creator take care of its creation? We just have to accept that everything doesn't have to go the way we think it should. The ways of God are mysterious, but that adds to the excitement. If it were obvious and predictable, it wouldn't say much for the skill of the divine producer in this cosmic play. We are all on a journey from ignorance to understanding in all things. How will you best prepare for the road ahead? As we deepen our understanding, we may decide that allegiance to divine will is a better way of traveling. We develop our greatest powers to live greatly and love greatly when we align with the divine.